All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another video for Fear the Walking Dead, leading up to the second half for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. In this one, we're going to do our first Q&A leading up to the return in a few weeks, and that is, do we think they'll just kill her off anyway? Alright, and spoiler warning as per usual, if you guys are not caught up for Fear the Walking Dead. So I got a cool pickup today, which is, I had to order it. It cost a little bit. We'll go into it more soon, or maybe we'll do a video where we go through it together. I'll put on some gloves or something, and it's not in perfect condition. It's not graded, but this is the first printing of the final issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. So I just got this one in the mail. Had to go on Evil Bay to get it, so I had to pay a pretty price, a lot more than $3.99, trust me. But I coughed up the cash to whatever evil bastard decided to keep the copy and post it online for bidding, right? A bunch of bastards online trying to scalpers, arrogant scalpers. I had to give in to the scalpers, man. It's like I gotta get the issue. I want to get the final issue, so gotta pay the scalpers. So we'll do a video on that soon where we go through it together. Probably not on this web camera though. We'll probably do like a in-hand look at it because it is the final issue of The Walking Dead. It's the big one, the Farmhouse last issue. So definitely want to go through that with you guys. So heads up for that. That's coming soon. So with this one, first Q&A for this week. I hate to continue along with the conversation about this one because it's been the conversation of Fear the Walking Dead for pretty much the last week and a half or so, ever since episode 7. So even before episode 8, we were discussing this one because, of course, episode 7 is the one where she gets sprayed in the face with all of the radioactive zombie blood, right? And then, of course, we just had the mid-season, finale, which is episode 8, where basically Grace says that she's doing the shower thing, that she's going to be okay, she'll be okay, that kind of thing. But, when you look at the trailer for the back half of the season for Fear the Walking Dead, dude, she's not in any, first of all, she's not in any of the action sequences at all. If you watch it back a couple times, and I'll put the link in the description so you guys can actually watch the trailer yourselves a few times, and it does look like a fun trailer, but she's not in any of the action sequences. She looks like she's walking maybe kind of slow or that kind of thing. There's one where they go to that tree with her, and it looks like Strand. Maybe we can do like a breakdown and we'll go through each part of the trailer. Not sure if it warrants it for Fear if you guys care enough, but basically watch it through yourself, see what you think. Because a lot of people brought up the idea, and also I think one of the showrunners said too that we don't exactly know how being exposed to radioactive blood like that would affect somebody. Maybe it doesn't affect them right away, or they just start feeling like maybe a little bit ill right away or whatever. They wash up, they think they're okay, and then they end up kind of, dying anyway, but it's like a slower type of death than to be in the second half. Certainly when you watch the trailer, that's what it looks like, and I hope that's not the case because, as we've all discussed in the comments since episode 7, it's like it'd be insane to kill Alicia off in Fear the Walking Dead because, of course, she's the last of the Clarks from the very first season. Someone said last of the Starks, more like last of the Clarks. That was AJYT Abbott who said that one. And he's absolutely right, man. I mean, if you look at even other series like the original Walking Dead and Game of Thrones and series that are known for having, significant character deaths throughout, where they'll kill off, the lead character, or they'll kill off, a lot of the bigger characters over the years. We're in the 5th year of Fear the Walking Dead, and if they kill her off, there are 0 characters left from the pilot. The earliest characters are Daniel, who's also a character that comes and goes. He's not always there. He comes into some episodes, and then he leaves for a while, and you don't see him for a long time. So he's only been in certain seasons and certain episodes, and then a lot of the others he wasn't there for. So he's not like a mainstay like he's been there all the time. And Strand, Luciana doesn't count because she came in the second season, so she's not from season 1. Strand is a different kind of character. He doesn't, to me, look like a point of view character in a lot of ways because, at least from the way you think of it in terms of like a classical kind of good guy type of lead protagonist, Strand has kind of been, as Daniel has pointed out, sort of slanted at the very least Sometimes he seems like he's a good guy. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he throws people under the bus and he lies and he cheats and he steals and he does stuff like this. So, for him, it's not like he's like Morgan. It's different, where like Morgan have a clear mode, but then he's really nice. He's got the peaceful circle stuff and all this stuff. Or Alicia, because they're, kind of more, at least for the most part, kind of good guys. Morgan is definitely a good guy coming into Fear. We haven't seen clear mode Morgan in Fear at all as of yet. Right? So it's really crazy, man, to think about this one through. And also you can watch that TV Line interview where they do the cast. It's 5 minutes. No one that I've mentioned it to from the videos has watched it yet and actually written back to me in a comment to let me know what they think. But she looks really sad in the TV Line interview. Not at the beginning, but about halfway through and then after when she's just listening to the others talk. Like, watch face expressions and see what you think, because it looks to me like, damn, dude, did they kill her off? Because they would have filmed the whole season at this point, I believe. It should be all done. Yeah, it'd be done in the bag to be finished. So does that mean in the second half of Season 5 she'd be killed off? So also I want to do my death predictions video for the second half of Fear soon. So I want to hear from you guys what you're thinking right now. And I agree with you 100%. It would be absolutely insane to do it. It would be crazy to kill her off in the series because she's the last of the pilot episode characters and the last of the Clarks, the whole family. It'd be like the original Walking Dead series with the Grimes family killing off everybody in Season 5, right? I mean, Season 9, that's a different deal. You know what I mean? Like, Rick leaves, and even with him, they let him leave, and they did the movies and did this other stuff and try to make it work for him. But it'd be similar to that as if in Season 5, Rick, Carl, Lori were all dead, and then you switched over to, somebody else. It'd be crazy. It'd be like, you can't even imagine, right? Boyd Crowder says, if Alicia dies, I doubt Fear will be renewed for a 6th season. He said this before it got the renewal, to just clarify that. But I hear what he's saying. I was happy when I heard that Fear the Walking Dead got a 6th season. But if they do this, if they do like a slow death thing for her where she ends up getting sick, and that's why Strand is using her weapon, and that's why she's like doing the staff stuff with Morgan because she's not feeling good, she's just trying to exercise out or something, and he thinks she'll she'll feel better or something, like do this martial arts and stuff, and you'll start feeling better and this kind of thing. But maybe she's sick and she just progressively gets worse and then dies before the end of the season or something. I mean, I really hope not, but I'm watching that trailer thinking like, damn, dude, I really hope they don't do that. That will be awful if they do that. Gaby says, if they kill her, that means the end of the show. She's the main reason for a lot of people, including me, for still watching the show. And that's true. I mean, if you've been a fan of the series since the very beginning, and watched it in the first season, if you came in Season 4, then it's probably not the same for you. You're probably like, well, I don't get it. What's the big deal? Who cares? But if you were watching it when it premiered in Season 1, and you're still watching it now 5 years later, it's a huge deal, especially because they killed off almost everybody else. So you'd like to think that that's a character that's totally safe, and that you can't kill off if you have any sanity at all. You can't do it, because if you do that, that means you've killed off the entire show. But that would be the completion of that reboot idea, which a lot of people brought up, that Fear the Walking Dead is not being crossed over in Season 4. It's being soft rebooted, which means it's being given to the new team and being given to Morgan and Dwight now and the others, the new characters they've created. And that old, guard, the old people that were there before, are being year by year, closed out, which is like Season 4, Nick and Madison. Season 5, if they do that, it'd be Alicia. It'd be crazy, man. Not this year. I mean, even if you're going to do it, you probably should never do it, but if you're going to do it, Season 5 is probably too early. You probably wait till Season 6 or 7 or something like that. To pull out that kind of a character death this year and make the season about that is like, oh my God. But if you think about it, she's had a lot of time this year. She's had a lot of kind of warrior moments and badass moments like this. And, I mean, if they don't do it, then that scene was kind of a fake out. But if they do go with a slower, getting sick over time, and then that's why Morgan's crying in the trailer, that's why, we're seeing the stuff we're seeing, then it's like, oh my goodness, man. It really, like everybody's saying here, it's, oh my God. Ben Dover says, if she dies, I'm not watching Fear anymore. So that's another one. Rush has a different one, which is good to kind of mix it up here. He says, Fear, the walkie-talkie pep talk. It's so damn boring. I don't know if Alicia will survive, but the real question is, can we survive another 8 episodes of this garbage? So, I don't know. The Fear hate is real, but I imagine if they do this, it's going to be even more real. Like, it's going to be, even I'm going to have to say, I don't know if I want to still review this. Like, I don't know. And that's a big question here. We'll see in the second half. This will become more prevalent if this does go down, because I'm really hoping it doesn't. But every time I watch that trailer, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, please tell me you guys are not doing this. Are you serious? Like, I can't defend this show anymore. If they do this, it's like, I can't defend anything about it. Everybody who says that Fear is trash and all this stuff and always, talk bad about it in comments and everything, like I've seen over the years, I can't argue with them if they go this route. If they go this route, I cannot defend them ever again. It's over. You know what I mean? That's like, you just can't. It's one of those things you can't do. It's like season 8 with Carl, but even worse than Carl, because at least in that case you had Rick. In this case, this is the last one. You wouldn't have anybody. Two Hands and a radio says, Alicia will stay behind. She'll get the radio asking, is anybody out there? Isabelle will fly in and save her. Alicia passes out from radiation poisoning. She wakes up in a hospital and a voice says, hello, I'm Rick Grimes, or Rick Grimes. That's a great idea. If they did something like that, then it would be okay. If they did like a crossover like that, she gets sick. Althea calls in because she's desperate for Isabelle. Isabelle comes and gets her, and then she goes in the movies or something. If they had something planned like that, I would be happy with it. But if they did, you don't think she would really be that sad. You know what I mean? You don't think she would look like that at that interview. I just don't know. To leave, but to go to the movies, you might be a little sad, but you've got something left there. If you're just killed off, that's a different emotion. That's a different vibe. And also, you're hesitant to give up spoilers because you are going to be killed off. Whereas if you're going to be alive, there's really no reason to worry too much about spoilers because there's really no spoiler there. You're going to be more defensive about what you say and about it if that is actually happening. Whereas if the character's going to survive and just going to live, then you're not so hesitant to give stuff up and to say things, right? You're more hesitant if there's more coming and it's a big spoiler, so you don't want to give it up, versus if you are like, if you're going to live anyway, then you're just like, oh yeah, it was a dumpster situation, fake out death, what's the big deal, right? So you won't be so defensive of it, right? Jason says, the only way I could see Alicia being written out is if the actress wanted to leave. That seems to not be the case, so I don't see her going anywhere. Not unless the writers have completely gone insane. So I agree with Jason. But, the best, there's a quote I heard once, is that the best predictor of human behavior, future human behavior, is past human behavior. So if somebody does something once, you'd like to think that if it doesn't work or people don't like it, that they kind of learn from it, they adjust. But actually, that's actually not true. The best predictor of what they're going to do in the future is what they've already done in the past. And unless something changes significantly, a lot of times people just repeat the same behavior. So even if they do something bad and they get caught, let's say, they go to prison or something like this, or parents, let's say your kid and parents get mad at you, this kind of thing. You want to see them change the behavior. That's why we have punishment and things like this, because we want to get them kind of people going in the right direction. But the thing is that, the best way to look at it is, okay, what did they do before? And unfortunately, that's probably the best predictor of what they're gonna do again. So it's like one original character from Fear per year. That's what they're gonna do, or at least 2 last year, 2 in season 4, but 1 in the mid-season finale. This year, it's like, oh, another mid-season finale. Oh no, it's not. But yes, it is. It's kind of like a sick, are gonna kill off right away. Oh no, not right away. But then after, yeah, or no, you're safe, you're okay, and then boom, the other way too, right? So it's like kind of like a double twist, like a twist that you would do it and then you're not, or a triple and then you're going back again. It's like, whoa. I just don't know, man. Mex089 says, drop Fear the Walking Dead when there's literally only one member of the main family left. I get it. I get what Mex is saying. Very true. But just imagine if there's 0 left. Okay. Then again, can you blame Mex or some of the others for having dropped it if you go from 1 to literally 0 at that point from the beginning? So a couple more. Steve67 says, Trev, Q&A, which of the main characters do you think will be killed off in the second half? What character makes the most sense to kill off in terms of story? Do you think it will be more than one? I think an impactful death needs to happen. So while Mo, Wendell, or Luciana seem like easy picks, I think for the story, it should be someone more important. June or Strand are my picks. So I think we'll do a death predictions video this week. Probably tomorrow or the next day. Soon. I'll get it done for you guys soon. Unfortunately, right now, if I have to say which one am I going with is most likely, I just said who it is, topic of this video. Not that's not what I want to see, That's just what it looks like it's shaping up from the trailer stuff. So I hope it's misdirection, and if it is, they got me, because I'm like, oh man, don't do this, right? It's gonna be so bad if you do this. But June or Strand, yeah, I'd probably go with somebody like like June or Strand. You could do Strand as well too, probably. Strand is cool and everything, but I always thought he was a supporting character for Madison. So the fact that Madison, and same with Luciana for Nick. So it's a weird situation that you have both Strand and Luciana still there, and they were supporting characters, in my view, from the way their relationships went through with Nick and Madison. Strand being a drinking buddy for Madison, and he was developed as well too, pretty good. But you'd always, in the past, you'd always put her and like at the top level, and then him somewhere below as supporting for her. That's just the way it seemed the series was going. And similarly with Luciana and Nick. So for our picks going forward, yeah, we'll do that in the Death Predictions video, I think. But unfortunately, like I said, that's what we're seeing. So Nick Jones says, wow, so instead of killing off Charlie, the little bastard that killed Nick, yes, I know he wanted off the show, but they shouldn't have that little shit kill him. Kill off Alicia. Wow. Brilliant. Gimple strikes again. I hope not. I really hope not. I hope he's not right, and I hope that's not what we see. But, I don't know. You guys tell me, man. What do you think? Who do you think it's going to be? And do you think it's a fake out? If it is, it's a pretty good fake out for Fear, I think. Southpaw, the poet, says, Scott Gimple equals Alicia's dead, a walker, growler, biter. I hope not, but I wouldn't be so surprised. Damn, Scott Gimple, right? So, again, another one. Again, I can't, if they do it, I can't defend it. When we heard that he was going to be doing kind of the overarching thing, I thought the ideas he had for Rick was brilliant to do the movie and all this stuff. But if it's true that this is what they do with Fear, and this means that almost the entire Fear cast is wiped out in under 2 years additional. Like season 4, the new team comes in, and by the time season 6 rolls up, so season 4 and 5, you have literally Daniel, who comes and goes, right? Who probably won't be around much longer. You have Strand, and you have Luciana. So that's just not what we want to see. So last one, let's do from JJ, who says she probably wanted off the show. You can't blame her. But that's the thing. If you watch that interview, that's not what it sounds like. It sounds like she got this, or she called up and said, hey, what's happening, or something like this. What's going on? Because after she read for episode 7, I would think, with the zombified, radioactive blood splatter. So it's like, this doesn't sound to me like this was like a Nick situation where he wanted to leave, so he told them, here, find a way to kill me off because I want to go. And then they worked it in and wrote it in for him so that he could leave. If she wanted to stay in the show as the last Clark and the last character from the pilot, and they killed her off anyway without her wanting to do it. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely crazy. Because if you look at, not to mention, but if you look at this one, The Walking Dead, right, with the way it ends, which I won't give away too many spoilers, it's a clean story. From the beginning of the story, you start off with Rick, and you've got Carl and Lori and the others. And when it ends off with Carl. It ends off with Carl in the end for this version. The TV series version can be different. If you end with Daryl, or you end with, even if it's Carol or somebody like that, that's okay. Or if it goes on past them, but they have a really meaningful kind of season ending or something, that's okay. But, you have a character representation from the beginning all the way till the end with this. And it ends with that character. It ends with Carl, right? After Rick, then it ends right after with Carl. So it fits. If they do this with Fear, it will no longer fit with where the series started off. It will be a total reboot. And in that case, I would have preferred them to just end the original Fear series and have done a Morgan spinoff by himself, right? And then just done it that way. Because why would you do the crossover to do some kind of merger, downsizing type of deal? Like you have this team comes in and replaces this team, and then you get rid of the old team. Creatively, if this is true, if this is correct, which I hope it's not, then that's what we're seeing. And, it's really sad for people who wanted to have that kind of story where you had at least one character from the pilot who's still in the series at the end to see it through all the way. And if you don't do that, it's kind of like you're scrapping that original direction, and it just kind of makes it feel like a mess, like it wasn't organized and well planned out in the long term. And if that's what they do, then that's what we get. Whereas with this, you know from the beginning to the very end, which is right here in my hand, this is the end, well thought out, well planned, and you had certain, characters that were there all the way through. You didn't have this break in the middle where all of a sudden, a new Rick came in and took over from the old Rick and something like that. Which, I guess in certain cases it can work, but to have a nice story, it just, to have it beginning to the end, it just makes sense. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll have the Death Predictions video coming soon, tomorrow or the next day. But I really want to see where you guys are at with this one. Watch the trailer through. Let me know what you think. I really, really hope I'm wrong. I hope this isn't what they're doing, because I'm just like looking at this saying like, dude, you can't do it. And then it looks like it is. It's like, but you can't, but it looks like it is. It's like I can't make my mind up, because it's like, you can't do that. They're going to do it anyway? Complete, total craziness, right, if this is true. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.